Hey everyone, so today we're going to be doing a lava lamp video, and a quick disclaimer, it didn't work that well, but we'll get into that. So first things first, you're going to need some oil, and then you're going to need a clear plastic container to keep your lava lamp in. And then you're going to want to take some food coloring. I chose for red and blue, but you can choose any color. And then you're going to need some anti-acid tablets. Now, a quick pause. The reason that mine didn't work is because I used Tums. I suggest using fizzy Alka-Seltzers because that will work better, but we'll get into that once we start the experiment. Then after this, you're going to want some water. I have a lot of water. You probably don't need this much. Well, you definitely don't. But I just wanted to be safe rather than sorry. And then I decided to lay down a paper towel because there was a bit of spilling over the edge of the container, and I figured that was just the safest option. So you're going to take your container and you're going to start by pouring a little bit of water in the bottom so you can kind of see the dimensions that I'll be using. I didn't want to use too much because this was my first try and I didn't want to waste very many materials, especially since it didn't end up working. I figured that it might be a bit of a fail and I didn't want to waste a ton of oil or food coloring on it. But next you're going to take some oil and obviously pour it in. And the dimensions for this would be probably end up being a little more than what you put in for the water. And of course, oil with water, it separates, so it's really cool because you can definitely see the dimensions of what you put in. So yeah, I'm just pouring this in. I'm using peanut oil this time, and as you can see, it spilled over the edge, which is why I put down the paper towel. But you can even start to see it separating right now. So yeah, I'm putting a little more than what I put of water. And of course, oil and water separates, so you can see that very clearly here. And here's just a little bit of a zoomed in version. You can definitely see the separation happening, which is really cool. And then the next step after this is to grab your food coloring. I'm starting with blue, and this is probably one of my favorite steps. And it's just all you have to do is drop the food coloring in, and you can see that it does not leak or bleed. It forms these little beads, and some of them stay at the top and some of them sink to the bottom. And it's super, super cool to watch. It's really interesting to see how they stay all compact and they don't bleed out or melt. And here's a little bit of a zoomed in version. You can see all the little beads in there, how some float and some do sink to the bottom. So it's interesting to see that. And then here's another little close-up because I just thought it was so cool to see how this happened. You can even see some of them, one just fell down to the bottom, which is really cool. And yeah, they're not bleeding out or anything like it regularly would if you put it in water or anything like that. So then after this, you're going to want to put in your Alka-Seltzer tablets. I used Tums because the video I watched said anti-acid tablets, but the reason that this experiment did not work to its full potential is because Tums do not fizz, so they therefore would not create that super gaseous, really fizzy, really cool lava lamp that you would want. They create a flat lava lamp, which is not as cool in any way. So really, I highly suggest using Alka-Seltzer tablets because they will fizz and create a super cool lava lamp, one that you would get at the store. But these ones, as you can see, I'm like, oh wait, why isn't it working as well? So I decided to take my water and do a little bit of a mini experiment and dip the Tums in the water, and I realized, oh, well, that's probably why it's not working, because they don't fizz when they're in the water. They just stay flat. So just one more time, as you can see, they don't start to fizz. They don't react very aggressively. They stay flat. So of course, that's what's going to happen when you put it in the lava lamp. Your lava lamp is going to stay flat. So it was a bit of a disappointment here, but it's still a really good opportunity to learn and realize what's going on. And I decided that I was going to add some red anyways, just to try and give it its best shot of being a cool lava lamp, even if it's flat. And you can see it's doing the same thing as the blue was doing, which is creating the beads. Really super cool to watch, super cool to look at. And even if it isn't fizzing like I would like my lava lamp to do, it's still a really cool image to see all of the different beads and all of the different bubbles. So you can see, yeah, it's just really not giving that up and down effect that you would want from your lava lamp. So it was a bit of a disappointment, but I realize now, of course, that it's because I used the Tums as an anti-acid tablet and not as an Alka-Seltzer. So you can see super cool. You can see bubbles, you can see blobs of different food colorings, but not as much movement as you would want, and really just not quite as interesting as a regular lava lamp. So here's a little more red being dropped in to really see the separation process here. A really cool reaction. but it would be a lot cooler if I used the correct Alka-Seltzer tablets and it was more movable. So you can see that. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. It was super fun to do, even though it was a bit of a fail, but I always find fails provide more learning opportunities. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you guys out a lot, and I hope you learned something from this. Bye.